Hello, everybody. Welcome. I'm gonna make some, ooh, that's my tarot bag. I don't want to show that on screen. Anyway, welcome everybody. I will be right back in about 20 seconds. We're gonna do our little intro video and I will tell you about tonight's topic, which I think will be very intriguing, very surprising. And I just came up with it today based on my email inbox, and I'll explain when we get back from our short intro. So stay tuned. I'll be right back. All right. Welcome, everybody. I am Hilary, professional tarot reader and EFT tapping practitioner, here to demystify the mystical, and put you in touch with the most beautiful gifts, your own intuition. Because yes, my friends, do not argue with me. You have intuition. Now, on a very special Tarot by Hilary tonight, we have a topic that is, I wouldn't say near and dear to my heart. It's more a topic that I've been seeing very recently because I have had a bunch of referrals come to me, knowing that I provide this type of service. And honestly, I'm about ready to no longer provide this type of service. And as we go through the episode, this might be a ranty episode. And for that, I don't apologize. Maybe past Hillary would have said, I apologize. I don't apologize for that. So tonight's episode is on interpreting other people's tarot readings. Now, this could be interpreting other people's tarot readings that they've done for themselves in this kind of like tutorial situation where you're working on tarot for yourself. You've got the cards laid out in front of you, and you're just like, I'm not sure if I'm interpreting this correctly. But here's the spread. Here's what I asked. Here's my interpretation. What do you think? And I used to get these requests a lot, and I would say, not only would I welcome it, I would be like, but I would want to make it very, very clear, like, please say that this is you trying to do this reading and trying to learn tarot based on this reading that you're trying to doing for yourself. I would draw the line for people going to a tarot reader and then bringing that tarot reading to me and asking me to interpret another professional tarot reader's reading. Yes, it happens more than you think. And Fran is here, and Fran says, rant away. I will, Fran. I will. Given permission, I will rant all the live long day about this. So in case you haven't read the description of this video, it's interpreting other people's tarot readings. And I'm going to be talking a little bit about the art of weighing in on other people's readings as a tarot professional, and also why I may be walking away from that type of service in the future. As always, we will have the brief astro weather at the top of the episode. We will have the weekend forecast at the end of the episode, where I pull a tarot card or an oracle card to get you through the weekend and prepare for the weekend so you can be prepared, not scared. And then, of course, in the middle of the episode, we will do our newest feature, which is about a year old already, over a year old already. The mid-episode reading is a chance to win a free reading with me live on the broadcast. I usually pull 3-card tarot reading. Last week, when we were talking about, when we were unboxing the Seaborn Kipper, which is April's deck of the month, I gave a Kipper reading for the person. And the more I work with the Seaborn Kipper, the more I like it, the more I am enjoying Kipper as a divination system. And I hope that you can see that and enjoy that in my social media posts, even though for some reason I didn't post the last couple of days. I don't think I posted yesterday or the day before because I've been busy with issues, with stuff. So yeah, so Katie is here. Hello to Katie. Sophia is here. Hello, hello from England. No, you haven't, Sophia. You have not missed the rant. You have not missed the rant. We just got started. You have not missed the rant, but you will understand why I have rants. We talked briefly. I saw. Yeah, there is a bee. There is a bee in my bonnet about this. And yes, I have a reputation, apparently. Fran says, no, she's just warming up. Oh, yeah, I'm going to get loud. Hopefully, not too loud because I don't want to disturb Mr. Tarot by Hilary over there. But yeah, so that's tonight's episode is interpreting other people's tarot readings. And I see. She getting fiery. She getting spicy. So, just a PSA before we launch into this episode, if you're not a regular viewer, I do have some regular viewers here that are chiming in. Know that I'm getting all worked up and all riled up. If you are not a regular viewer, why the hell not? You should. We do this every Friday night, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time when I'm available to do so. And I try really, really hard to keep it consistent, folks. By the way, we did do another recording of Cardslingers Coast to Coast today. Continuing, so we started with the minor arcana. So that's going to be coming up. Like, we finished our major arcana. Each episode for the major arcana deep dive. So we did the full through the world, and now we are moving on to the minor arcana. Cardslingers listeners, you're gonna want to hear it. We're going through all of the cards. At least that's our plan. We're going through all of the cards. So I believe we did an intro to the minor arcana. We recorded that, and today we did one of the aces today. So it's coming, and please stay tuned because I believe it's next week, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is the 100th episode of Cardslingers Coast to Coast. And we will be doing that on our YouTube channel, which we haven't created yet. Or maybe Jamie ended up creating it today. And I think it's just going to be youtube.com/@CardslingersCC, I believe. Let me just take a quick look-see-pook-see to make sure that I'm giving you the right place to go. And Jamie and I will be doing some tech run-throughs. Yep, that looks correct. Yep. So, and Fran has an excellent question. So, will you do both? Maybe not. I might have to forego an episode of the Tarot by Hilary live in order to be on time for our 100th episode of Cardslingers. So we'll have to play it by ear and see. Obviously, I don't want to cancel, but that would be a good reason to cancel. So Sophia says, bring on the drama regarding the rants. Absolutely will. And air horn. Ba-ba-ba-bum. Yeah. Yes, it's a huge deal. 100 episodes, it's a huge deal. And Fran was asking, will I do both? This one and I don't know. I'll try. I don't know. And the YouTube, our Tube of You channel for Cardslingers is going to be youtube.com/@CardslingersCC. Should be pretty easy to remember because it's the same as our Gram of Insta account, Cardslingers CC. That's where you can find us. So, Cardslingers CC. So please, like, subscribe. And I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and subscribe from here. So that I can see what's going on when we do our tech checks. But yeah. Anyway, this one, Tarot by Hilary, live every Friday night, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. There are some exceptions, like when I'm doing the 100th episode of Cardslingers Coast to Coast. So that will be live. And we have, I don't know if we have any plans, like specific plans for that episode, for that live recording, besides, like, I guess, showing the behind the scenes of what we do to do Cardslingers Coast to Coast, how we do the podcast every second and fourth Fridays. It's I don't know. I don't know if you guys are going to be enthralled or bored. But it's basically going to be behind the scenes, and I think we'll moderate the chat. You can ask questions of us live. We'll probably give you massive appreciation, and also, like, tell us what you want to hear in upcoming episodes. Like, we'll take your questions, but also we want feedback about, like, first of all, like, what is it about Cardslingers that keeps you coming back? And so we can do more of that in the future. And also, like, what topics do you want to hear about? Because, like, I'm surprised that we've made it to the 100th episode and we haven't run out of things to talk about yet. Like, we are always coming up with ideas for new episodes, and it's separate to what I do here individually, what Melissa does individually, what Jamie does individually. Like, there is so much to talk about regarding tarot and divination. So, sky's the limit, and hopefully we'll be able to do it for another 100. So, yes, Katie is correct. All the crazy will be revealed. Yes, that's correct. This past the one that we just recorded, the episode that we just recorded, it was really hard not to laugh. And we did laugh a little bit, but, like, it was like I couldn't even, like, I was doing this because I could not even look at the camera at the other two with, like, I was just cracking up. So that's as much of a spoiler as I'm going to give you for that recording, and probably you'll figure it out. When you hear the recording, you're going to be like, oh, that had to have been what Hilary was talking about. This has to be the one where they were giggling incessantly. Sophia asks, will we see all the animals? Yeah, I think so. I mean, I don't have any animals on my end, but you will most probably see a bunch of cats and some dogs. Yeah, most likely, yes. All right. So let us get into the astrology from the wonderful AstroBiz Digest. This is from Teresa Reed, aka the Tarot Ladies, AstroBiz Digest, $99 subscription for the year. Astrology in layman's terms, straight to your email inbox. It is geared towards entrepreneurs and business owners, but I have found it to be incredibly helpful in planning my personal life too. So I usually give the Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and also the general transits. But if you want more than that, you're going to have to just subscribe, because I don't want to take away from what Teresa Reed is doing. Okay, so, and I kind of like this setup. I like that I have my computer pushed back a little bit so that I have room to work. That will be incredibly helpful for the mid-episode reading. But for right now, I have my phone over here. I don't have the it on the clamp, but I do have it here in front of me. So I will look up the AstroBiz Digest from there. So if I'm looking down, you know the reason why. All right. Let's see. Interesting. No, there's been something about this week that I just have not been looking at the astrology. Like last week, the big thing was the eclipse, was the total eclipse of the sun. So this week I feel like it's a little bit calmer. I'm hoping. I'm crossing my fingers and my toes. So please keep in mind that Mercury is still retrograde, but not for long. So please remember to slow down, plan for delays, back up your devices, and watch your words. And Sophia says it's been a heavy week, feels like an eclipse hangover. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I can understand that. I can definitely feel that, especially being in Aries, and it was like the eclipse was in Aries. Like it was a lot. It was a lot. All right, let me get my bougie lime sparkling water. Liquid Death, Severed Lime. I'm looking for sponsorships. Gala Darling had her Perrier lime for a while for her tapping videos. Like, why not me having the Liquid Death? I think it's very on brand. All right. So, other than Mercury still being retrograde, first up, we have the sun slow walking into Taurus. So it's no longer Aries season, which is a huge bummer for me being in Aries. But so the sun is moving into Taurus, a chill transit that favors creative output, mellow vibes, financial intelligence, and business investments. So if you need to spend money on your business, the next 4 weeks are your green light. Just remember to do your research while Mercury remains in retrograde. That's a big caveat. Mercury's still in retrograde. People can be stubborn during this transit, including you, and an extra dose of patience will tame the aggravation. So the sun will stay in Taurus until May 20th. The second happening is a major jolt of awesome when Jupiter conjuncts Uranus on the 20th in the sign of Taurus. Yes, exactly. The caveat, Sophia. So don't tell me spending green light. That's danger territory. Caveat, Mercury is still in retrograde. So be mindful. All right. So second major happening, jolt of awesome when Jupiter conjuncts Uranus on the 20th in the sign of Taurus. This aspect can mean sudden good fortune, a happy turn of events, profitable partnerships, financial windfalls, and tax surprises. It's also excellent for travel, group activities, and big picture planning with your team. Be on the lookout for money, travel opportunities, and new connections. One thing to keep in mind, Uranus can be unpredictable, so you'll want to be alert because things could shift at a moment's notice. The more nimble and flexible you are, the more likely you'll rock this vibe. Yeah, Uranus can be unpredictable. All right, so let us move into Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So if you're ready for Friday's astrology, give me a hell yeah in the chat and we'll go. And I'm going to have another sip. And yes, I am a little bit concerned as I did do something that's a no-no for Mercury retrograde. I did get a new phone. I did upgrade my phone. So here's hoping that things are all hunky-dory with that. All right. Sophia says, hell yeah. Katie says, let's go. All right. This is a good tip coming up right here. Hold on. 2, 1. Tape a tourmaline to it. Maybe I should just put a picture of a tourmaline in the background. What do you think? Like as the wallpaper for the phone? I mean, she's not jazzercised yet. She's not bedazzled or anything. She's just got a plain case. I don't even have like my pop socket on it. I might get a new pop socket with some like witchy stuff on it to go with the black case. I'm feeling the black case though. I don't know. We'll see. I'm not used to it yet, but like I'm so happy that I'm able to like download apps again. I'm so happy to be able to like take pictures of my cards and tarot spreads and everything. It's like it was about time. It was old. Like guys, my phone, I got my new phone the weekend before I flew out to St. Louis for Cardslingers. For Cardslingers, the conference that we did that has now turned into kitchen table gathering. Yeah. So that's how long ago that was. Before Cardslingers Coast to Coast. Can you even remember BCCC? Before Cardslingers. So Dina is ready. Dina's ready for Taurus season. And Sophia says, I'd make a bind rune and make that your background. Ooh, that's a good idea too. So many good ideas. All right. I know it was high time for a new phone. So, weighing the cost benefit analysis on there. Anyway, so Friday is lit. Friday today, April 19th is lit. It all began with Mercury conjoining Venus at 4:59 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, setting off creative sparks and networking possibilities for the weekend. At 10 a.m., the sun meanders into Taurus. Be sure to read the info above the scopes to learn more. So we already talked about that. Like it's no longer Aries season, folks. We are into Taurus season officially. And I am a very sad Aries for it. But, Taurus has its benefits too, of course. Mars moves into a sextile with Jupiter at 11:28 a.m., adding mega energy for marketing and creativity. That lingers all weekend too, so enjoy this boost all weekend. Watch for sour vibes from overworking when the moon opposes Saturn at 5:53 p.m. Use the spot to recalibrate with a good meal. We actually went grocery shopping at that time, so that tracks. Get back into the game when Mars sextiles Uranus at 7:56 p.m. A dynamic aspect for originality, group work, and general business activities. It's also divine timing for taxes, joint finances, and budget updates. It's here for days. You can achieve so much once you put your mind to it. Huzzah. So today, Friday, April 19th, is a power day for Virgo and a weekday for Pisces. And Sophia ordered Greek takeaway. LOL. I've been having a hankering for Greek, even though I've been eating a lot of Greek lately too. Yes, it was time for a new phone. Mercury was just assisting. Yes, that is how I choose to reframe that, Katie. Yes. So Sophia is all about the woo-woo Virgo vibes for today. Power day for Virgo, weekday for Pisces. All right, moving on to Saturday and Sunday. Saturday finds the moon in a trine with Jupiter and Uranus at 6:14 a.m., a lovely spot for PR and creativity. However, the moon will also oppose Mars at 7:08 a.m. and 8:20 p.m., two aspects that create bickering and unproductive energy. So in the morning and then in the evening. The critical types will be shooting their mouths off too. Ugh. Press that mute button if you can. The big Saturday news. Jupiter is conjunct Uranus at 10:27 p.m., which I mentioned already. And it is a rare event. And it is like remain flexible. There is unpredictability to it, but Jupiter can usually signal really good news, expansion, abundance. At 11:08 p.m., the moon slides into Libra, creating a harmonious atmosphere for the weekend. It's love for creative work, networking, and diplomacy. On Sunday, Venus is conjunct with Chiron at 7:49 a.m., the best aspect for healing relationships, creative therapy, or self-care. Put your energy into pampering sessions or rest because The Sun-Pluto square at 1:02 p.m. threatens the peace with power mongers and big mouths. Who needs that? Not me, not you, not anyone. Calgon, take me away. Saturday is a power day for Virgo and a weekday for Pisces as well as Friday. And Sunday is a power day for Libra and a weekday for Aries. Fun. And welcome to Gia. Hello, 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 hello. All right. So at this time, I usually open up the floor for anyone that's wondering if there was an astrological reason why for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday being a little bit strange or weird or challenging. And I will take a quick peek at the AstroBiz Digest and let you know. And then we'll move on to tonight's topic, which is more of a rant than anything else. But I have recommended reading. Or maybe advice. Rant, recommended reading, and advice. Why does everyone like to hear me rant? Is that fun for people, or is it just because I'm passionate about something? I was looking for a specific deck, and then I realized the deck is across the other side of the room. What is the difference between sun sign and moon sign? Difference between sun sign is that is where the sun was placed in your natal chart at the time of your birth. This is what the sky, basically your natal chart is a snapshot of the placement of the stars and the planets in the sky at the time of your birth. And that's the reason why astrologers ask you for your birth date, for your birth time, and the location of where you were born to get that accurate snapshot. So sun sign means the astrological sign that the sun was in at the time of your birth. And moon sign was the astrological sign that the moon was in during your birth. So many of us ascribe the sun sign as to like outward appearance, how you appear to people, or personality traits, while the moon sign can be sometimes how you express yourself, sometimes about your thought process or inner workings. So I am not an astrologer. I am more of a tarot reader, but I do have a lot of great recommendations for you. The Tarot Lady, Teresa Reed, the Tarot Lady, thetarotlady.com has a lot of resources about astrology, and also several books on the market that you can pick up to learn about your astrology. So I hope that helps. Cafeastrology.com is pretty great too, and astro.com as well. And tarot.com has some astrology resources too. Katie says, and you're very welcome. No astro for me. I'm just making coffee for the rant time. Yes, you may need a cuppa. Sophia says, hashtag relatable content. And Katie says, usually you have very good reasons for the rant. We'd like to hear it. Okay, so let's get into it then. So recommended reading for this. So, all right. Interpreting other people's tarot readings. So there have been people that have approached me, and so like here's what I have. What I have on my website is a couple of different options, a couple of different session options. So I will do a half an hour tarot reading. I will do a full hour tarot reading, which more like 45 minutes to an hour. I rarely cut us off at exactly 45 minutes because I like to finish off cleanly. And then also I will pull an oracle card at the end of it to just like and asking the question like, what does this person most need to hear right now? And usually it ends up being like 99.9% of the time, the oracle card ends up being a great summarizer of the major themes of the reading, which I really appreciate. I don't know if everyone has that experience when they use oracle cards with tarot, but that has become my experience with that. So that's what I like to offer. And then I have other options, like I have EFT tapping sessions where you can book a tapping session with me. I do an intake process and an investigation, and then I formulate a specific tapping for you and the issue that you want to work through or release. So that's another thing that I do on my website. And by the way, you can book any of these things on my website, tarotbyhilary.com. And I can do it through phone. I can do it through Zoom. EFT tapping sessions I do through Zoom because I like to be able to see you and see you going through the tapping. And it's also kind of like a mirroring situation where you're following along with me, tapping on the points that I am and repeating after me. So, it's kind of necessary to have that video, though I have been able to do it over phone and audio before. Oh, good question. If we have to make an important decision in our life regarding career, who should we consult? Astrologer or tarot reader? Both give us predictions about future? Yes, both can actually. It just depends upon the flavor that you like. For astrology, the astrologer will consult your natal chart, and they will also probably do kind of a snapshot of here's your natal chart, and here's like the next astrology for the next 6 to 12 months, be able to superimpose that to be able to like help you navigate that. And then a tarot reader will pull cards for you, to both give you predictions about the future, but also like tell you the how. Like, okay, I want to be able to move my career into a parallel track, or I want to completely change my career. How would I best go about doing that? Is usually the question that I would help the client to formulate, and then I would pull cards to that. So kind of not as predictive as you would think, more like if you want to work towards that goal, what are the steps to take or how you would go about going towards that goal. So I'm not as much of a fortune teller as I would like to be. Sometimes it will happen, and I will say things that it's just like, oh, hey, watch out for this, or oh, you might, like this first offer might not be best. There might be a second offer coming. So there is some predictive aspects to what I do or what an astrologer will do. But I'm more about the like, let's bring the future to you. Hope that makes sense. So Dina says also about moon and sun. Moon is your emotional needs and sun is your basic nature. And Sophia says both astrologers and tarot readers can have insights. Think of it as a different font. Yeah. Different typeface, different font. So so I do different sessions on my website. You can book phone, you can book Skype, you can do EFT tapping, you can do that. And then there's also tarot tutoring. And this is getting into kind of my rant or what I wanted to talk about. So I do offer tarot tutoring. And if you book tarot tutoring, I basically have it in such a way as to there's an intake form, and like here's the thing. All right, I got to kick off my shoes for this. This is the level of the rant that we've got going on. Aw, thanks. So regarding tarot tutoring, I have this, I believe, intake form that goes along with tarot tutoring if you book a tarot tutoring session. I have to remember whether or not it's still up on my website. I'm pretty darn sure it is. But there is an intake form that you fill out. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm going to pee myself laughing. The shoes were holding it back. The shoes were holding it back. Absolutely. Like, I got to get barefoot for this. So when you book in a tarot tutoring session, there is an intake form that comes up along with it. And there's several questions that I ask. Now, I'm going to try really hard to answer them, but let me see if I can pull this up myself so I can go along with it and show you. But the reason why it's irritating is no one books a tarot tutoring session. So you can imagine my surprise when I keep on getting emails from people. By the way, there's a spammer in the comments. Please ignore, block, ban, etc. Sophia happens to be here. Sophia does have a moderator hat if she so chooses to exercise it. She does have the capability to do it. Please and thank you. But I know she's here for the rant. So, whenever you have time, Sophia, to go after that person, thank you. Yeah, I know. Handled. Got it. Thank you. So imagine my surprise when I continue to get emails from people who will greet me or not, who will say please and thank you or not, and will send me paragraphs, detailed paragraphs of the cards they pulled and when they pulled it, and pictures of the spread. And then at the very, very end of the email, they say, is this a service that you offer? Correct. Madame, I implore you. So if anyone's not familiar with that story, yeah, please translate my trauma dumping. Yeah, exactly. It's just like, I'm a complete stranger. Like, why are you like, I could tell stories, I could read these. I mean, I don't want to, and I'm not going to. It's their personal, confidential information. Even if I'm not providing them the reading, it's still kind of personal, but it's just like at the same time, this is really personal stuff, guys. And you're reaching out to a stranger and they haven't even said yes or no yet. So, how about you wait for someone to say, yes, I can provide that service for you before you go and dump it in my lap? There's a little bit of that too, Fran. I want a different answer than I keep getting. Than I keep getting. Like, dude, I'm psychic. Like, you're like, why do people think that I don't see through you? It's cute. It's also annoying. So, yes. Yeah, that a lot too. A lot, a lot, a lot. But will he come back? So, for your reading delectation, of course, the tarot lady, Teresa Reed, has already talked about this, because I wanted to talk about it. And I put in exactly the name of tonight's episode, Interpreting Other People's Tarot Readings. Now, the tarot tutoring service that I offer, and I am going to go through the questions. This is the reason why I have these questions. Okay, so I am going to schedule an appointment with myself. Not really, but for the purposes of this. So I'm going to scroll down. So I've gone up to the top. Actually, let me see if I can project this. Hold on, please. Yes. Fran's answering the question. Yes, as a turtle in your next life. That's when he will come back. Let's see here. I am going to do that, and I'm going to do That's a good one. Katie says, "Will he come back on?" Oh, Jupiter! I hope not. So I'm going to my website, tarotbyhilary.com, and let me go ahead and I can close that now. Pull this up. Go down here. All right, so this is my website, tarotbyhilary.com. Nice, cheerful, etc. And let's see. Hopefully you can see my cursor. We're going to go up to the top right and hit schedule an appointment. And this is how you can schedule an appointment with me. I am going to, for the purposes of this class, workshop, live stream, whatever the heck we're calling this, I'm going to scroll down to tarot tutoring. It's all the way down here. Maybe it's hidden. I don't know. Right under I don't know what I need session. Okay. And I'm going to hit book. Okay. And by the way, if you're ever booking with me, hold on, let me make sure that this is, oh yeah, there's another one. There's another one, Sophia. Another, wow, another novel length spammer going on in there. So Katie says, just want to add, I have coffee and the knitting is out. I am so listening to this rant. And Sophia says another spammer bites the dust. Thank you so much, Sophia. So as you can see here, I want to point out, if you are booking with me, it's very important, if you're booking something, to choose the add to your appointment, click on via phone or click on via Skype. Otherwise, I will not know how to connect to you if those options are coming up. Otherwise, I'm waiting on Skype and you're calling me on the phone, or vice versa. And please don't pick both. So I'm going to connect to myself via Skype. And we're just gonna, for funsies, pick the first available appointment, which would be Sunday at 10 a.m. and select and continue. And then you put in your information. Now I'm going to put in my information. Y'all know it. I'm not going to put in my phone number, and I am going to put in my email address that y'all know, or y'all should know. It's either Hilary@tarotbyhilary.com or terrytowntarot@gmail.com. All right, everyone seeing this so far? Looks like you are. So, scrolling down, here you go. It's right here. See, I knew it. I knew I still had it up. So, tarot tutoring. Hey, first off, kudos on you for reading tarot for yourself. I think that is absolutely awesome and completely commendable. But if you're having a bit of a, I need an expert opinion moment, that's what I'm here for. Please answer the following questions so that we can maximize your appointment time. What's your reading about in general? Love, money, spirit, health, or other? Most of the time, it's that one. What was the question you asked the tarot? I'm going to use the perpetual. When will he come back? Okay. If you have a specific reading you want to discuss, what cards did you pull? The Tower. 3 of Swords. Death. So he's coming back, right? Do you have an image of the cards pulled? If yes, please send me the image, and then you can choose a file and you can add it. Sophia says, I pulled the devil, the chariot, and the seven of swords. We're getting engaged, right? See, I mean, I didn't even look. I didn't even look at the chat when I was typing that out. All right. If you have a specific reading you want to discuss, what was your interpretation of your reading? So this is very important. Like, I always want to know what your interpretation was first. And especially if you're doing like a reading exchange, like it is common courtesy if you're asking for help with a reading to provide the cards that you pulled and what your interpretation is. Like, we want to see your best attempt at it before we go and give you the answers, because we kind of can't. So I'll get there anyway. What is the tarot deck you use the most? Did you use a tarot spread? If so, which? And then here, right here, swear to me that this reading is yours and not from another tarot reader. And it is not an optional question. So now, can I actually fact check that? No, I can't. But you're swearing to a tarot reader, so I have to act in best faith. And then, what do you believe is your biggest obstacle to learning tarot? And how did you hear about me? And would you like to subscribe to the mailing list? And then pay now. So I'm not going to continue with this, but it's here, right? It's here. Tarot tutoring is there. All right. So let me go ahead and stop sharing. So why am I so heated about this? It is like Sophia said, please translate my trauma dumping. There's a little bit of that, yes. And then there's also, people going into my inbox and just like assuming the answer is yes. And I mean, I could give you quite a few examples of this. They're in my email inbox, where it's just like I know where some of these people are coming from because I have gotten referrals. So they have made a point of saying, so and so's assistant said, they don't do that. They don't do that type of reading, but here's the person that they would recommend. Like, go to this person. And even in that, they've said, I don't know if this person does the interpretation of other people's readings. Now, if it is in the spirit of learning tarot, absolutely, you can book a tarot tutoring session with me. But I might not have it in this form anymore because I simply don't get them. I don't get it in that form. I don't have people filling out the form. I have people asking me, can you teach me? But they don't have a specific spread in mind, or they didn't have a specific reading that they did that they wanted a tutorial on. They just want more of, I wouldn't say a generalized tutoring session, but more of like, oh, I know that I'm like not great with the minors, or the court cards are really flummoxing me right now, or even or like sometimes it even translates into live stream sessions like this. Like, we did a session on the fives and the sevens of the tarot because a lot of people, some of my clients and my students included, were having trouble differentiating between the fives and the sevens, both within the fives, within the sevens, and then between the fives and the sevens. So some of that education is available for free on the Two of You, on the Book of Face. And there's more spammers in the chats. Charming. You are, wow. they are replying to the wrong person. So, the education is there and available, and a lot of tarot readers are very like willing to teach you, and teach. Yeah, you said the key words. Yes, that's true. I see where that happened. Um, so we're more than willing to teach. And if you reach out to us and say, like, I want a private session, I want to be able to learn this, or I specifically am having trouble with this, like, we are more than happy to do an entire session on that, or we're more than happy to read your cards for you. But I'm the type of tarot reader where I'd like to teach as I read cards, and like, you're gonna have to stop me and be like, I just want my cards read. Like, I don't want to learn the tarot. And it's like, all right, aces. Like, I will try to stop. I will try to stop explaining to that level and just read your cards for you. But it might be hard, and just like stop me while I do that, or I might not be the right reader for you. That might be possible too, because we have so many different tarot readers out there, so many great tarot readers that read in different ways and different styles. But this concept of bouncing from reader to reader to try and get the answer you want, there's a little bit of that going on in these type of requests. And if you're going to reach out to me to ask me if I do that type of thing, please wait for my answer before you dump paragraphs upon paragraphs about the reading that you want me to interpret, because it's just like, I'm not going to do my job for free. And also, I probably am not going to do that type of reading anymore. Now, here's the reason why. And here's the recommended reading for you guys. How about now? No?
I thought so. Hold on.
Now, this is really sad that I have figured out. All right, good. Yes, Mercury retrograde strikes again. Yeah, so I have this has happened so many times, and Mercury retrograde, yes, true. But I tried refreshing the window. That didn't work. I know exactly what to do now. I take away the camera source, like I remove the camera source and then I reconnect it, and that seems to work fine. So the next time that happens, I will do that first instead of hitting refresh. How about that? All right. So the rant is so strong that it knocked me off of the of the live stream. Thanks for sticking with me, folks. All right. So I did show this before. So thetarotleader.com, interpreting people's tarot readings. So that's there. And so like I couldn't believe when I searched this that it immediately came up, and I'm like, of course Teresa covered this back in 2014. Of course she would. She's ahead of her time in so many different ways. um no, my mom did not call. That's a different story entirely. um Actually, it's possible but not probable. Let me see. No, that was not my phone ringing. That was just my alarm going off. All right. Yes, exactly. Teresa fucking Reed strikes again. Yes. So, interpreting other people's tarot readings. And I'm going to briefly read this. You can read more of it at your own leisure. But this is from Teresa. And there is an image there with I'm not a tarot automaton. So almost every other day, I get an email that goes something like this. I was wondering if you could look at this reading I did for myself and tell me your thoughts. I'm confused. In some cases, they are contacting me about a reading that another tarot reader did for them. 9 out of 10 times, the question is about an estranged lover. It's almost always from a stranger who has never worked with me. You can tell that they just chose me randomly because there is zero effort to be friendly or to even engage in polite chit chat about my world. It's just, here's my reading and gimme your tarot thoughts. By the way, I'm not the only reader who gets this. I have heard the same email pitch from my fellow mystics. I am friendly, but I never honor these requests. Why? One, I don't have time. If I entertained every one of these appeals, which basically comes down to me doing a free reading, I would have zero time for paid work. To sit down, lay out a reading, and then try to interpret it, not to mention writing back, takes time. Just doing it off the top of my head is not my style. I care about quality. I'm not a tarot automaton. By the way, the very few times I have ever responded to these types of emails, I ended up with a barrage of further emails wanting more details because they were confused by something I said. These people seem to be awfully confused a lot. In other words, they wanted to milk my tarot brain for all it's worth. Think about what that feels like for a second. Would these people do this to their doctor or attorney? Probably not. And I'm also pretty sure that doctors and attorneys would not allow that type of behavior. Second, it's difficult to just look at somebody else's tarot reading and interpret it. It's because my energy is not attached to that reading. This is where I really, really agree with what she says. My energy is not attached to that reading. When I do a reading, it's coming from me. I am connecting with my client, shuffling those cards, and feeling out what they may mean. To fiddle around with a reading that somebody else did and try to experience whatever it is that they were feeling at the time that they did the reading is not as easy as you think. Like try to do it. It's very, very difficult. And speculating over what it might mean or what that other tarot reader said, leads to a whole lot of overanalyzing and fretting over details. And it's the same with dream interpretation. I believe this too. I don't offer that service because, in my opinion, the energy is personal and the symbols are too. What one person's dream symbol is going to be very different to another person, and what that might mean personally to that person. I see snakes as wisdom, but another person might have a phobia of snakes. So when they see a snake in their dream, it's very different from when I see a snake in my dream. You get it? You get it. A better course of action, to rather than going from reader to reader to figure it out, or to get a freebie reading or a tarot lesson, go get a journal and write down your own interpretation. Scour a few tarot books and write their insights. Study hard. Put the reading aside. Revisit it later. Do the reading yourself. And you could always join tarot forums that you can then practice with other readers. If money is an issue, or a bar to getting a tarot reading, this is a great and free way to grow your skills. Search the internet, check out some of the groups on Facebook. Another option may be to purchase a reading from a reader that you trust. That creates an equal exchange of energy. That's very, very important. If you want someone to do your tarot work, you should be willing to offer something in return, because you don't want to work for free. So we shouldn't work for free either. Now, there are free reading resources. And this is also part of, there's a couple of different ones. There's the American Tarot Association will do free tarot readings. Just search free tarot readings. You should be able to find it. But when I have done this before, this is the origin, by the way, of Madame, I Implore You. When I have done this before, when someone has reached out to me for a free reading or to just pull a card, I have referred them to a resource similar to that, but they wanted me. And while that's flattering, I don't do free readings. So that is the root of Madame, I Implore You. That right there, in a nutshell, is someone begging me for a free reading. And my no was not taken for an answer. So unfortunately, I just had to block that person because they kept on messaging me, Madame, I implore you. And, if you get swayed, I'm not a monster. I do have feeling for people that are looking for answers, but I can't give away my services for free. And even when I've said, here's a resource, that does give free readings, or, a reading exchange, they still kept on going, and I had to put a stop to it. So, so once again, the link is thetarotlady.com/interpreting people's tarot readings. It's from an article back in 2014, if you want to read it all the way through. But these are kind of I agree with that portion of I can't place myself in the position of the reader if they did go to another tarot professional and wanted me to interpret this reading, if that is actually the case. So, and even if it isn't, and they're actually trying to learn tarot, it's just you have to be willing to pay for our expertise. So Katie says, so the comments are going off. I go off and then the comments go off. I was thinking, what someone sees in a card is not always what others see in those cards. Exactly. I've seen that just by looking at what you, reader people here, see. Right. Exactly. So Leanne, hi from England. Hello. Hello. So we've got at least 2 people watching from England. Nice. Sophia says, I had to stop doing the free reading forums. The free clients are the most demanding. Yep. It's a great way to get your chops, like hone your skills, but it is exhausting. And exactly, my paying clients would never. Right. Exactly. Yeah. Fran says, I don't work for free. Neither do I. And this is a different story. This live stream is a different story. And by the way, if you do want to support the live stream monetarily, I'm not going to say no to that. It's not expected, but it's appreciated. And you can do so at paypal.me/tarot by Hilary NY if you would like to contribute. Totally not expected, but always appreciated. And I have a link in here somewhere. Or book a reading with me too. That's a good way to do it. So yeah, here's that doesn't look very nice. There we go. Wait. This way? No. This way? No. This way? Yeah. Sure. Anyway, I did the full rant. I didn't even wait for the mid-episode reading. I just went full rant. So any comments, questions, concerns? So this is part of the reason where I was just like, I might not be offering this service anymore because it doesn't seem to get any traction. No one books that particular option. Maybe that's just a sign for me to to streamline my reading options because might be getting lost in the shuffle there. But like, I don't think that's the case here. I think it's more of an attitude with freebie seekers and trauma dumpers. And I mean, I will say a please and a thank you goes a long way, but at the same time, then just like putting paragraphs on paragraphs of a reading that I'm supposed to like, that is not like, that's really disrespectful of my time. You really expect me to read all of this? And you're not even like willing to book. And it's like, it's not hard. Like, if you can email my email address that has my website on the end of it, you can figure it the fuck out to book a tarot tutoring session with me, right? Sophia says the people who want to learn seem to go through other avenues. Right. So, things that make you go, things that make you go, things that make you go, In my experience, the people who really want to learn read all the books before having the balls to reach out to authors. Yeah. And I did not have the balls. I had zero. I had zero cojones. And I just so happened to find Teresa Reed on the now defunct Astrology Creeps and Tarot Freaks, or is that the other way around? And she would do these free readings for people. I think it was like every Tuesday, and she would post it, and it was kind of like, it was very informative to me because I was like, wow, I really like her style of reading. And so I reached out, and the question that I asked happened to be selected. And I reached out about my tarot career and whether or not I should make this into a business. And the reading that she gave me was like, I think the High Priestess came up, which was like a definite like sign for her, like, yes, all signs to point to yes, like you should be doing this as a business. You should be. And I don't know, from there I just started following her work, and then like pretty soon after that, like I just kept on following her work, and then she did the Tarot Apprentice contest. And I was just like, I'm gonna I'm gonna do it. And I was squeaking it under the wire, and then I won it, and now she's on my ass all the time. And now I have a tarot book of my own that came out as of November 2 years ago, November 2022. So it's just like, how do all of these things happen? And how was I so lucky? It's also because you follow people's work and things kind of evolve organically, and you can't force that. And you especially, like, please, if I was someone that dropped into her inbox and did all of that, like, she would not have given me the time of day, and rightly so. So Sophia said, I was lucky enough to glom onto you in the Cardslingers I never know how to pronounce it. Diaspora. But that was after years of study already. Yeah. And I think Melissa might have said this in a Card Slingers episode about like mentoring and about like how to approach. And she's like, I don't do beginners classes. And it's just like, you kind of have to be a pain in the ass and be like really like diligent, because she usually tells people go away, go away, go study on your own, and then come back when you have like a solid base underneath you. Meanwhile, like, I'm very willing to do like tarot, like a tarot beginners, like, or tarot 101. And like Melissa just doesn't have the, she's like, no, I don't have, shit, I don't have time for that. So it really does depend on who you're reaching out to and what they say. But then, like, if they do say something like that to you, like, go off and do the work and come back. Right. So, or, get in there while the getting's good. But like, I mean, I've had people approach me for mentorship, and right now at this time in my life, I have to get back to them because I've already put them off. But like, as of right now, like, I appreciate it and I want to be able to discuss it with people, but I won't take someone on unless I know that um I can give quality as much as that person is willing to put in that work themselves too. Yeah. Um Fran says my Amazon wish list is full of books that I want to get to. Well, I mean, same. It's crazy that it's been 2 years. It really is. Like maybe a year and a half. Yeah. Um, Katie says I follow you to see what you see. Mm-hmm. And one of the reasons I watch Teresa's morning readings because she gives a bunch of interpretations in a short period of time. Yes. And it's great to see what she sees in it. I also follow Elliot for that reason too. Yeah. Yeah. So it's just like there's so many different choices. There's so many different readers out there. There's so many different perspectives. There's so many, like, it's 78 cards. Like, there's so many different combinations. And then also, you're never going to read a card the same way and even the same situation. And and like, you're not the same either. So just honor that, like, that journey for yourself too. um so Leanne says my stepmom was gifted not just spiritually and taught us at a young age about opening our third eye and being open to things around us. I do not do this professionally, but I do understand where you're coming from. She never used her gifts as a full time job. Back then, she would have been sent away to a mental institution as it was never understood. I've started opening up since her passing and practicing again. Good. I'm glad to hear that you're doing that. And I feel like the that people are much more open now to the things that are unseen and to intuition, and that it's like this is the reason why I open and close every episode of the live stream with putting you in touch with the gift of your intuition, because yes, you have intuition. Don't argue with me, you have intuition, because that's what I really believe. I really believe that everybody has intuition, and that it was given and gifted to us. And we get away from it as we grow older and more jaded and more cynical. And then we spend, if you're interested in metaphysical topics, we spend our adult lives trying to get back to the things that we knew as children or that we were more open to as children. Um, but I do think our intuition is there to help us, to help guide us, to help navigate this journey of life, and to help prepare us for some of the things that might be unavoidable. So I've talked about that a bunch in the live stream. So if this is your first time here, welcome, and feel free to go back and watch the replays. It's searchable. So if there's a particular topic that you're looking to hear my take on, it's probably there in the archives. I've been doing this for 4 years now. So like we've done mediumship and Ouija boards and spirit boards and Sabbath series and witchcraft and of course tarot, my main squeeze. So Sophia says the pandemic really changed things for the community. So many people opened up to tarot and metaphysics. It's crazy how much we open up when we are going through hardship. Yeah, because it's just like things like, especially when we're going through hardship, it's just like, oh my gosh, like how am I going to get through this? Like there usually is an uptake in spirituality and religion when that is like directly associated with world events. Now I don't know if that's a scientific like veritable fact, but I have seen statistics and studies about that where it's just like the rise of spirituality increase at the times of world global uncertainty. But the world is uncertain pretty much all the time. But for recent memory, that was the last really big thing. So. All right. Do we want to do the mid-episode reading? Because there are quite a few people here, and let's see what the keyword should be, shall we? Mid-episode reading, and I say, ooh, so. Heck yeah to the mid-episode reading, and it's a pretty well mapped effect. I've been working with it for my master's. Awesome. Awesome. All right, comment snake, lottery jar, and settings. All right, unsurprisingly, I have chosen the keyword rant. So let me all lowercase. Oh, unless of course it worked. Did it work? Yeah, so Leanne says, thank you. Yes, I am new. I will have a look. She was gifted in mediumship and Reiki and more. I think in the end, she went to a church that helped progress her gifts as she did try to hide from them for many years. Mm-hmm. Be in the jar. Be in the jar. All right. Oh, I didn't even put, silly me. Hold on. Let me put up the countdown widget. Okay, so this contest closes in 3 minutes and 33 seconds. And yes. All right. Okay, we're good. We're good. I was ranting so much that I was getting parched and I wasn't understanding why I was getting parched. It's because I was ranting so much that I didn't drink my drink. Because of course. So how many faces in here? Do we have everyone in here that wants to be in here? Remember to put rant as the keyword. And I guess I will let the winner choose whether or not they want a tarot reading or a Kipper reading. Because I've got the reflective. So Leanne, the contest is for the mid-episode reading, in which one lucky viewer will be entered to win a free 3-card reading with me live on the broadcast. So it's a free reading. If you want a free reading or have the opportunity to win a free reading, put rant into the chat. So it's either going to be the Seaborn Kipper or the Reflective Tarot. And you have a minute 38 in which to put that into the chat. Did you eat? Did you eat?
I'm about to. Should I bring yours out? What's that face? I'm with that face.
You should know this face.
I don't know what that face says. You want me to bring you your salad? What? What? You got cheese?
Meat and cheese. Meat and cheese. All right. All right. We have, I think we possibly may have the biggest jar yet. And then once we choose a winner, I will allow the person to choose which deck. Like, man, the Seaborn Kipper, it's been real good. I've been enjoying it a lot. No. Please tell me we do not have to get on a video call whilst this happens. I'm in my Christmas PJs. Relatable, and no, you just put it into the chat. And Sophia says, God, no. I wouldn't do that to you. I would not do that to you. Thank God. All right, so let's pick a winner. Oh, and you're the winner. So Leanne, please choose, first of all, which deck that you want to be read from, the Reflective Tarot or the Seaborn Kipper. Keep in mind, Kipper is a different system. And what is your question? Katie says, I'm in my PJs too, since this is my morning. I woke up for this. Yes, Katie is in Australia, right? I always do this to you, and I'm so sorry. I think it's Australia. It's not New Zealand. It's Australia, right? Yes. So congratulations, first-time viewer, first-time winner. And just put your question into the chat and which deck you would be read from. Shut up. No, you shut up. Yeah, I know it's Australia. See, I don't know why I questioned myself. I knew it was. I knew it was. All right. So the mid-episode reading kind of becomes the 3/4 through episode reading, which is not as pithy. Fran, are you heading out? If so, good night to you, Fran. Nice to see you again. Okay. Not sure which one. Question is, can I cope with my job now that they lost this contract? You choose the deck, please. Thank you. I'm looking at a beautiful charcuterie. Thank you. I'm going to need this because I'm just doing the mid-episode reading. So, which cheese is this?
Gouda.
Gouda? You should take a picture and send it to the guys.
Nah, it's not that fancy.
All right. I'm going to ask for Sophia's input. Sophia, because she's been working with Kipper a little bit longer than me. Do you think this is a good question for the Kipper, or do you think I should just stick with tarot, or should I do both? And in the meantime, I'm going to eat cheese. Mm-hmm. That's true. She might have left for the night. All right. I'm going to make an executive decision and pull both just to see the interplay. Now, keep in mind, I'm newer to Kipper. Tarot's more of my jam. So let me go with tarot first and do the interpretation of the tarot cards first, and then I will pull some Kipper cards. Okay, so the question is, can I cope with my job now that they lost this contract? And can I cope financially? Now, most of the time, I will read questions or I will reframe questions, especially if they're yes or no questions. So I would frame it more, how can I cope? Yeah, and I see. Please note, it pauses when I comment. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Wow. Okay, that's a pretty strong reading. So, yeah, cracking. Now I'm hungry for cheese. Insert Wallace and Gromit cheese grin. Yes, exactly. I think you might have seen my Wallace and Gromit cheese grin just now. So, trying to pull this up. Okay. So, the cards are very strong. The tarot cards that came up are very strong. So, can you cope and how can you cope? And can you cope financially? I think it's possible but for right now, like it's so like I don't know whether or not this loss of the contract was a surprise, but at least I feel like it was a big surprise to you, because the Tower card came up first. And so the Tower card to me is like the rug has been pulled right from out from under you. And I think like maybe there were some people that expected this, but overall, like this was unexpected. They were not, it was not planned that that would happen. And so like this, like it's still, I feel early days of this. So right now, so you got the Tower card and then you got the Hanged Man card. So you are in this kind of like wait and see period. It's uncomfortable. You may need to change your perspective in order to find that equilibrium again. I think you can cope. I think you will be okay, with the Two of Cups coming up. It doesn't necessarily say financial, but it does feel like there is support. Um, I don't know if you're in a relationship right now or that there is another partner to be able to support through this, but it feels like that there is more support to be had. And it feels like when you have this uncertainty that you're dealing with, like you may have to lean upon that support system rather than doing it all on your own, because you can't do it all on your own, but it's still very, very new and very, very early days yet, just from the cards that are coming up. I think the answer is yes. I think the answer is yes, you can cope, but it's still very, very early days. It was very, very unexpected, and just like kind of wait for the dust to settle before you start making any moves in any direction. Because I think it's just so it's too new right now. But I believe the final answer is yes, you can cope. If you ask for support from your partner, if you do have a partner, or from like someone that you have a very strong bond with the Two of Cups. Now, I am going to pull, so that's what the tarot was saying. I am going to pull some Kipper cards. Yes. Okay, perfect. So tarot is reflecting that experience. Yes, for my partner, I've been looking elsewhere, but I love my job, family first, though. Yeah. And yeah, for those of you who might be asking a question, I only do the mid-episode reading for one person. So if you would like to tune in again next week, you'll be able to enter the mid-episode reading again. And then also Katie is saying, yes, only one free reading, but we get a collective reading at the end, and that may answer your question. Yeah, so stay tuned for the weekend forecast, okay? So back onto the Kipper, and the Kipper's take on the situation. So yeah, remembering this is very new, very early days. And let's see what the Kipper has to say. So not only can you cope, how? How and who can help? And I would not be surprised if we see Principle 1 or Principle 2 come up, because that's how the Kipper cards talk. Let's see. Interesting. So you've got the wise one card, you've got the child card, and you've got the funeral card. Don't be alarmed. I'm pretty sure the funeral card is is very similar to the death card, and it often does not mean what everyone thinks it means. So let's go to the guidebook for the Kipper. So wise one, right here. Wise one is representative of an older man, father or grandfather, advisor, good news, wisdom, or sturdiness. Represents a dependable and experienced older person in the querent's life. They are typically an important masculine presence, such as a father, grandfather, or male boss. Whatever their gender, they usually offer wisdom, stability, and quiet strength. Their experience and wisdom can be a source of great comfort and advice, and the person they represent or news that they bring is positive. But wise one and their advice turn negative and troublesome. This is more an association with like the principal card, which didn't come up here because we didn't like activate it. So I'm not going to continue with that because it's just like, I think that it's comfort and advice. Wise one is typically an older figure whose sturdiness complements the caring one, often a literal partner. But the querent may choose to associate this character with anyone who fits the description. So yes, yeah, that's what I was thinking too. My partner. Yes, I think this is more of your partner rather than like a paternal figure. So the querent may choose to associate this character with anyone who fits the description of good news, advisor, sturdy, dependable. They can also be an older, more experienced or mature version of you, of the querent. So questions, so prompts, how can I pull the full range of my experience to good use? Where would I benefit from a slower, more contemplative approach? And what positive spin might my future self put on my current troubles? That's a good one. Affirmation is I have lived and learned every day of my life. So the child card can sometimes represent a literal child, the literal child in the situation, child or grandchild, new project, new direction, creation, youth. Card of children, youth, and newness in all forms. Can represent an actual child. Oh, he's older. Oh, okay. My husband is also older than me. New actual child, or represent a child of the mind, such as new creative project. A new start, new opportunity, as well as youth or youthfulness. Generally a positive card, but the new things and childless nature the card indicates can turn negative under the right or wrong conditions. Yet even when negative, child has a refreshing quality that allows for the possibility of a reset or rejuvenation. So yes, that might be your son. So actually, that makes a lot of sense. Child can convey directionality, and the card sends new or childish energy in the direction of a child's gaze. So question applicable here, it's like what requires more delicate handling, and the affirmation is I see new possibility everywhere. So this might also, so Kipper is also saying this situation might result in a different opportunity, a new opportunity for you, that might allow you to have more time for your family, like you were saying, family first, like I love my job but family first. So, and also wise one and child. The child is looking at the wise one, so that's kind of cute and nice. Like it's really reflecting, what the tarot said and what you were saying, but like in a different way and much more peoply. And much more like relationship wise and in flow. My son is amazing and so supportive. That's wonderful. So it's just like, it's kind of conveying like similar thoughts, but like on a different layer. All right, finally the funeral card, which I'm like, I don't know. But let's see. Yeah, so to me, the funeral card, it's misunderstood. It's endings, death and serious illness, grief, loss, closure, and mourning. So it's like, it's an ending card. So it's very similar to what I would say the death card is in the tarot. It's a card of significant endings as well as grief and eventual transformation. So like that's a death card in the tarot. It makes it one of the most complicated and easily misunderstood cards in the deck. So, given the real world challenges that accompany a death, complexity is similarly present in this card. Take the time to analyze the cards around funeral. So, like, remembering what you were asking about too. Like, that's very important for Lenormand and also for tarot and for Kipper. So Leanne's saying, so I was thinking of a career change as a counselor or something along them lines. I've been through abuse. I've been through abuse. My son said I should do it. So not entirely the question you were asking, but it could be signs along that says, yeah, this might be the time to do it. I still say with the Tower and the Hanged Man coming up, that it's just like, the time for action is not right now, but like wait for things to settle down a little bit, but quite possibly that might be what this is referring to. You might be tempted to skip past the suffering that accompanies an ending, but you need to consider all parts of it, not just the transformation. There's no jumping past the hard part with funeral. Even if there is hope, there is hope of the eventual rebirth. Rebirth cannot happen without death or without the ending. I mourn when it's ended and allow time for transformation. So it's just like, not only with this, like, them not getting the contract, the loss of the contract, like this has brought up so much more for you than that. And like what your expectations were for this job, for all of it, where it's just like, you really did think there was like you thought it was different. You thought it was different, or you thought it was going to be different. And while you do say you love your job, there is that inkling of like, well, what if this? So I hope that the tarot reading helped you. I hope that the Kipper added to the tarot reading. I hope you enjoyed the mid-episode reading. And I thank you for participating, because it is not easy to be vulnerable and have the vulnerability to be read for on a live stream in a public setting. So thank you. Oh, that's wonderful. I don't even know what I said. That often happens when I do readings, though. So that makes so much sense the way you said it without explaining. I try. I try really hard. I try really hard, and I think I'm pretty good at my job. So thank you so much for participating. To everybody watching, and for the people that have been watching and asking a bunch of questions in the chat, like this is the reason why the mid-episode reading is one, it's a contest. Leanne won it, and this is part of the reason why I did this episode, this reading other people's interpretations or tarot readings, like this graspy energy that I'm seeing in the comments, you know, like me no likey. And if you would like a reading with me, you can purchase one, tarotbyhilary.com. I do understand that, you know, not everyone has the money to buy a tarot reading. And for that, I say you can look up free tarot reading online, or tarot reading exchange, or, you know, all of those different things that I said at the beginning of the episode. But like, yeah, this is a job and I think I do it pretty well. So Leanne says, thank you so much. Your reading means more than you know. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. I appreciate you for saying that. So that is the mid-episode reading. I already did my little rant. So I hope you enjoyed the little rant about, you know, interpreting other people's readings. that might be a service that some people offer. And if they do offer it, that's great. Make sure you pay your readers, because this is not, I might make it look easy, but it's not an easy job sometimes. So let's do the weekend forecast and let me send you on your way. So we're going to do an oracle card from the Work Your Light Oracle deck by Rebecca Campbell with artwork by Danielle Noel. And then I'm going to go off and eat my dinner, which is not going to be just cheese. As much as I want to, that does not a dinner make. So what do we need to know for this weekend? What energy is coming into the weekend? And what energy do we need to bring into the weekend? Ooh, okay. I don't know, this might be applicable to the mid-episode reading too, so pay attention, but it's applicable to all of us as well. The card that we are receiving is Leap. You go first, the universe will catch you. Really, really, really pretty card. Fran says, oh man. Is that directed towards the card? Or directed towards cheese? Charcuterie board does not a dinner make? Or both. All right, so Leap. You go first, the universe will catch you. Life bends for the courageous. The universe wants to support you, but first you need to leap. This is a very Fool card energy. Yeah, Fran says both. The universe wants to support you, but first you need to leap, to throw your life up in the air. Perhaps you know what you are being called to leap toward or away from, but are scared to make the move. Or maybe perhaps you're waiting for a big fat sign, or instruction manual, or permission to do so first. If this is you, then this card is your sign and permission slip to take a deep breath and leap into the unknown. It's scary to let go of all that we know and hope for something new. And it's normal to feel anxious at the thought of letting go of what we know for sure. Leanne says, cheese is God. I love Forget about the weekend forecast. Cheese is God. And that's the algorithm that did that. That's like my live streaming software that did that pushed that forward. It's way more important to know that cheese is God. Fran says the signs are coming for me. It's scary to let go of all that we know and hope for something new. And it's normal to feel anxious at the thought of letting go of what we know for sure. But this is the unavoidable process of rising. And right now, this is how you are being called to live. Nature is constantly showing us how to live with courage. Fall comes every year and encourages the trees to loosen their grip, to allow what once was so full of life to fall away leaf by leaf. For a moment, it feels like nothing will grow again. The branches are left bare without the comfort of what once was. But in the morning of spring, new shoots begin to appear and something new is born that is even more glorious than before. So the action step for this card is you go first, take a good run up and leap. Well then. Katie says, my leaps are more slipping on a banana peel and banana skin and all on the tray gets thrown in the air. Well, that works too. Well, I feel called out by that one as well. So I hope you enjoyed this episode. Thank you for listening to my rant about interpreting other people's tarot readings. If you are seeking out that kind of expertise from a tarot professional, weighing in on other people's readings, you know, why don't you ask us first before barreling us over like a Mack truck in our inboxes? Ask us first, and wait for the answer. And don't be surprised if some of us don't do it. All right. On that note, thank you all for watching so very much. Again, we do this every Friday night, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And oh, that's lovely, Leanne. Trying to leave you a review, but I'm struggling how to. You can leave one on my website, on my testimonials page. I think that's just, hold please. You can scroll all the way down on my testimonials page, and there should be a form to fill in. If not, you can always send me your testimonial at my email address. So, but I'll show that right here. Or you can email me, Hilary@tarotbyhilary.com, or terrytowntarot@gmail.com. But right here, tarotbyhilary.com/testimonials. But this, I mean, just right here, this is a great testimonial too. So Katie says, good night all and have a good weekend. Thank you all so much for watching. Let me take down this comment snake. And once again, I am Hilary of tarotbyhilary.com, professional tarot reader and EFT tapping practitioner, here to demystify the mystical and put you in touch with the most beautiful of gifts, your own intuition. Because yes, my friends, do not argue with me. You have intuition. Have a wonderful, wonderful night and a great weekend, everybody. See you next week. Hopefully see you next week. If you don't see me next week, at the very least, come to Cardslingers, the live 100th episode, and I will try and give you more information once I have it. All right. Bye.